A curator lies dying on the cold marble floor of the Louvre.
A cryptic message, written in his own blood, points to a secret buried for centuries.
A race begins through cathedrals, paintings, and ancient symbols, where every clue could be the key to the greatest cover-up in human history.
But beware. In the Da Vinci Code, the truth is far more dangerous than the lies. Hello, everyone. Hi, all, and welcome to Book Podcast Zone. I'm Emma.
And I'm John, and I am absolutely thrilled to embark on this particular deep dive with you. There's something truly captivating about narratives that meticulously weave together threads of history, art, and, well, an unfolding mystery.
Oh, definitely.
The sheer joy of discovery in these intricate stories, uncovering layer after layer of a well-guarded secret, it's just unparalleled for me. And today, wow, we're plunging headfirst into one of the biggest literary phenomena of our time.
Ready to help us synthesize the complex information we're about to explore within Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code? We'll try to connect the dots, dissect the rich layers of intrigue, and really grasp the profound depth of the material.
Yeah, get right into it.
Because this isn't just a thrilling story, is it? It's a meticulously crafted tapestry of historical references, symbolic art, and a profound intellectual puzzle that really demands a closer look from us.
Absolutely. And for this deep dive, we've brought, well, an incredible stack of sources, essentially. A chapter-by-chapter guide to the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, we're really digging in.
Our mission is quite ambitious. We aim to unpack the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight from these initial chapters. We want to transform those complex plot points, the intricate historical references, and all that fascinating symbolic art into easily digestible and hopefully utterly captivating insights for you, our listener.
Think of this as your essential shortcut, maybe, a way to get really well informed about the core mystery that drives the Da Vinci Code. We're going to equip you with surprising facts, maybe just enough humor to keep you hooked.
We'll try.
And a deep understanding of why these elements are so compelling. We'll delve into the secrets, the symbols, and a conspiracy that really challenges perception, exploring what they might reveal about history, the power of art, and even, the very foundations of certain belief systems. So let's truly unpack this, shall we?
Let's do it. So we're immediately plunged into the dark side of Paris, aren't we? The Louvre, usually you think of it as this grand museum, silent after hours.
Right, peaceful, majestic.
But suddenly it becomes this stage for terror. The very first scene of the Da Vinci Code doesn't ease us in at all. It just plunges us into immediate, chilling suspense.
It's a really striking opening, almost cinematic in its intensity, you're right. The prologue sets the stage with this desperate, deadly chase involving Jacques Saunière, the esteemed Louvre curator. He's being relentlessly pursued by Silas, this albino monk whose mere presence is just unsettling, menacing, almost spectral, isn't he?
Totally spectral. And you can just picture the silence of those grand halls, the polished marble amplifying every frantic footstep as Saunière runs for his life right there among priceless masterpieces.
It's such a stark, brutal contrast. You've got the serenity of art on one hand, and then this grim reality of, well, deadly human conflict on the other.
And his desperation is just palpable. You can feel it. Saunière, thinking with incredible speed, even as death is closing in, he yanks a painting off the wall, right? Sets off screaming alarms.
Buys him a second, maybe?
Then, with the surge of adrenaline, he slams a heavy metal gate between himself and Silas. These aren't random acts. They're desperate, calculated attempts to buy precious seconds, to create a barrier, however temporary, against this relentless pursuer.
He's plotting, he's planning, trying to outwit his fate right up to his very last breath. It's incredible presence of mind, really.
Yeah.
Silas, meanwhile, is truly chilling. He's presented not just as a killer, but as this figure utterly driven by his mysterious leader, known only as the teacher.
Right, the teacher. Very ominous.
The monk's conviction is absolute, isn't it? It seems born from this twisted sense of religious duty. And then he delivers this truly terrifying revelation to Saunière, a detail that immediately escalates the stakes far beyond just a simple chase.
What does he say again?
He says, the others, they all told the same lie. And now, he reveals, they are all dead.
Oh, wow. So Saunière isn't the first?
Exactly. It confirms Saunière is not the first victim, and it hints at a far wider pre-existing conspiracy. This is bigger than just him.
That's the moment of just profound dread for Saunière, you imagine. He understands that if he dies right then and there, without leaving a trace, the truth they've guarded for generations will vanish forever. It's this moment of clarity, a final, terrifying realization that what he guards is so monumental its loss would basically rewrite history.
Yeah, the weight of that responsibility. It immediately establishes the core mystery and raises the stakes of this grand conspiracy that extends far beyond just this one man's life. It's huge.
And so, in his final agonizing moments, Saunier scrambles, using every last ounce of strength. With his remaining breaths, he leaves this cryptic message on the cold marble floor.
Scrawled in his own blood.
In his own blood, right beneath a masterwork by Leonardo da Vinci, no less. This gruesome, highly symbolic act doesn't just mark his death. It's the genesis of the entire novel's intricate puzzle.
It's a dying man's desperate, brilliant attempt to pass on a secret before it's lost forever. Just an incredible opening hook.
So why does this opening matter so profoundly to us as listeners beyond just the immediate suspense? It's not just that it immediately hooks you, although it absolutely does that.
Right. It does more than that.
It immediately makes us question, like, the reliability of official narratives, doesn't it? And wonder what other foundational stories might be built on, hidden agendas.
That concept of a suppressed truth, hinted at from the very first pages, it resonates far beyond this novel, I think. It touches on how we consume and interpret information in our own lives, urging us to look beyond the surface.
Definitely. So from that intense life-or-death prologue, we abruptly shift gears in Chapter 1 to our main protagonist, Robert Langdon.
Right. The Harvard professor.
He's a Harvard professor, world-renowned expert in religious symbols and iconography, and he's just jolted awake at 12:32 a.m. in his luxurious Paris hotel room. He's exhausted from travel, far from his familiar academic world.
And clearly not in the mood for visitors. You get that vibe immediately.
Yeah, it's a jarring contrast to the desperate, violent drama we just witnessed in the prologue.
His initial state is definitely one of, relatable reluctance and grogginess. You can almost feel his disorientation, can't you?
Totally. Yet, the concierge on the phone is unusually insistent, which immediately foreshadows the gravity of the situation, even though Langdon's trying to brush it off, send the visitor away.
Tell him I'm sleeping.
Exactly. Little does he know, this inconvenient late-night interruption is about to drag him, an academic more comfortable with ancient texts than, crime scenes,
Right.
into a world of profound intrigue and immediate, terrifying danger.
This chapter is so vital because it introduces us to Langdon and immediately grounds this abstract mystery in a human protagonist. It places this seemingly ordinary man, an academic, a professor, into an extraordinary, dangerous situation.
It connects him right away.
Immediately connects him to the mystery that was established in the prologue, showing us how the threads of Saunier's desperate final act are about to tangle directly with Langdon's very fate. He's about to be thrust into a conspiracy he never imagined.
Imagine for a moment being pulled into such a sudden, high-stakes mystery in a foreign city.
Yeah.
You've just flown in, you're tired, maybe a bit jet-lagged,
Yeah.
and suddenly the police are at your door, demanding your presence at a murder scene in one of the world's most famous museums.
Yeah.
How would you react?
Panic. Denial. I don't know.
Right. How would you handle being thrust into such immediate, life-threatening intrigue where every step could be a trap? It's a powerful way to put you, the listener, right into the character's shoes and feel that building pressure.
This definitely puts you there.
So, as our story rapidly unfolds, we soon discover the conspiracy stretches far beyond the marble halls of the Louvre.
Right, it gets bigger fast.
In Chapter 7, the narrative expands its scope, taking us to the quiet, ancient church of Saint-Sulpice, where we meet Sister Sandrine Beale. She is abruptly ordered, in the dead of night, to open her church for an Opus Dei member.
And this isn't just a simple request, is it? It's a direct command from Bishop Arangarosa himself, carrying the significant weight of authority that immediately makes you raise your eyebrows and ask, okay, what's going on here? Why so secretive? Why nighttime?
Exactly. And Sister Beale's unease in this situation is almost palpable. You feel her nervousness. She harbors significant apprehension about Opus Dei.
Which the book portrays as this powerful and increasingly influential group within the Catholic Church.
Right, often characterized by its rising power, incredibly tight ties to the Vatican, and particularly its very traditional, some might say old school, views which clearly include the sidelining of women within the Church's hierarchy.
That immediately introduces this subtle but profoundly significant conflict, doesn't it? It hints at deeper power dynamics and ideological struggles within the religious establishment itself. It's not just a unified front.
And her church, Saint-Sulpice, is portrayed as this quiet, unassuming keeper of history, a place of peace and sacred ritual, but now it's being rudely thrust into this sinister nocturnal event.
It feels like a violation.
It does, almost a desecration. She's caught in this agonizing internal struggle, torn between her solemn duty as a nun to obey a direct order from her bishop,
Which is huge for her.
and her deeply unsettling intuition, this chilling gut feeling that something isn't right. That profound internal conflict immediately adds another complex layer to the growing, multifaceted mystery.
This chapter is absolutely crucial because it immediately expands the scope of the conspiracy beyond just the Louvre and Saunière's murder. It introduces Opus Dei as this powerful, potentially sinister force actively pursuing something within the church's sacred spaces.
Right. What are they looking for?
Exactly. And it immediately hints at deeper religious power dynamics at play, confirming that this isn't just about a singular murder, but about a far-reaching ancient secret that directly impacts the very fabric of religious institutions. It makes you wonder how deep this rabbit hole truly goes.
From that intriguing side plot, we then return to the heart of the initial mystery in Chapter 8, where Langdon is brought to the Louvre's Grand Gallery. He stands frozen, almost transfixed, by Jacques Saunière's chilling final message, scrawled in his own blood on the floor.
This is where we really start digging into the intellectual puzzle, isn't it? The core of the book's appeal for many.
Yeah.
The cryptic message itself is utterly fascinating, a true dying declaration designed as a riddle. It consists of two main parts. First, that sequence of numbers 1332211185.
Which is the Fibonacci sequence, but mixed up.
Exactly, jumbled out of order, which immediately tells Langdon, okay, this is a code, not just random numbers.
Right.
Then there are those two striking phrases, and crucially, they're in English, not French.
Oh, draconian devil and oh, lame saint.
Right. The fact that it's in English immediately signals that this message is intentional, a highly significant choice by Saunière. Maybe it's intended for someone specific, or perhaps designed to be understood by someone outside French law enforcement.
Someone like Langdon.
Someone who wouldn't know about codes and symbols, yeah. Perhaps Langdon himself.
And here's precisely where Langdon's unparalleled expertise as a symbologist truly kicks in. Captain Phi, almost dismissively, points out the circle drawn in Saunière's blood around his body.
Like it's just part of the weirdness.
Right. But Langdon, with his trained eye, immediately connects this seemingly random act to Leonardo da Vinci's iconic Vitruvian Man. He interprets this not as a random act of a dying man, but as a deliberate symbolic gesture.
Because the Vitruvian Man is such a profound symbol, right? Balance, divine proportion, particularly between male and female, representing the ideal human form in harmony with the cosmos.
Exactly. Langdon's mind immediately leaps to the idea that Saunière's final message is this desperate, symbolic cry against the Church's historical suppression of what he calls the divine feminine, favoring a male-dominated faith. It's a truly profound leap in interpretation.
But Captain Foch, the relentless, pragmatic police captain, he isn't buying Langdon's academic interpretations for a second, is he?
Not at all.
He operates on a vastly different logic, grounded in criminal investigation, not ancient symbology. Foch is convinced that Saunière, in his dying moments, was simply pointing to his killer.
He thinks it's an accusation.
Believing the message is a direct, albeit cryptic, accusation rather than some complex, symbolic riddle. This creates an immediate foundational conflict in interpreting the evidence. One sees a vast, ancient conspiracy hidden in plain sight. The other sees a straightforward criminal clue.
Meanwhile, back in Saunière's office, Inspector Colette is listening in, replaying Foch's earlier commands to focus solely on Langdon.
Putting all the pressure on Langdon.
Right. Underscoring the police's singular immense pressure to find the killer and their tunnel vision regarding the Harvard professor.
This is truly the core aha moment, isn't it? It sets Langdon on his trail and sets the stage for the entire intellectual adventure of the book. It masterfully fuses high art, ancient symbolism, and this profound historical and religious conflict.
The divine feminine versus male-dominated faith.
Yeah, that contentious idea. It's what draws the listener deeper into the intellectual mystery beyond just whodunit, inviting us to question established historical narratives.
It absolutely encourages us to consider the sheer power of symbols, doesn't it? And how different interpretations, even of the same evidence, can lead to vastly different conclusions.
Totally. We see Langdon, the expert in symbology, immediately drawing these profound, historical, almost philosophical connections.
While Face, the pragmatic police captain, sees a straightforward criminal clue pointing to an individual.
It raises such an important question for all of us, not just in this story, but in our daily lives. How do our personal biases, our professional training, or even our deeply held worldviews influence how we understand and interpret information.
That's a great point. We all interpret the world through our own unique lens, right? And the Da Vinci Code really shines a spotlight on that.
It really does.
As we delve deeper into this labyrinth of secrets and symbols, remember to like, subscribe, and share Book Podcast Zone with anyone who loves a good mystery, a dose of mind-bending history, or just a really captivating story.
Yeah, help us spread the word. We're just getting started here, and there's so much more to uncover. Now, let's continue to the next thrilling turn.
Okay, so our journey now takes us further into the darker corners of the story, deepening our understanding of the forces at play and the characters driving them. In Chapter 15, we follow Silas, the albino monk.
Back to Silas.
Back to Silas. He's approaching the ancient church of Saint-Sulpice, preparing for his next shadowy task for the teacher. But this isn't just about a simple mission. It's about delving into the character's, well, twisted internal landscape and the fanaticism that fuels him.
What's truly fascinating here is the disturbing depth given to Silas's motivation. His hands are literally described as stained with guilt, a haunting admission that hints at a troubled past and previous violent acts committed in the name of his faith.
Yeah, you get the sense he's done bad things before.
Yet, in his mind, he believes that pain is his path to redemption, and that suffering is purification. This profoundly twisted conviction has been meticulously drilled into him by the teacher.
Who has indoctrinated Silas with this chilling idea that suffering proves faith and is the only way to cleanse his soul.
Right, it makes him not just a flat villain, but this complex, deeply disturbed, and religiously fanatical figure, utterly convinced of the righteousness of his heinous acts. It's quite disturbing.
The narrative emphasizes this unnerving dual nature of his actions. They feel both sacred, in his own profoundly warped mind, yet undeniably sinister and horrific to an objective observer.
That juxtaposition hints at the complex and dangerous moral landscape of the story, where religious fervor can be twisted into something truly terrifying, driving individuals to extreme, violent acts in the name of what they believe is a higher power. It's a chilling exploration of corrupted faith.
Yeah, it really is.
This chapter is pivotal because it solidifies Silas's role as a key, relentless antagonist, but it also adds significant psychological depth to the motives of those pursuing the secret. It directly ties into profound themes of religious extremism, fanaticism, and corrupted faith.
Showing how deeply ingrained belief, however warped or manipulated, can be an incredibly powerful, destructive driving force for human actions.
Exactly. It makes you truly wonder about the teacher's ultimate goals and the extent of his influence on his followers. What kind of person inspires this?
Right. Then, in Chapter 16, the story brings us directly to Sophie Neveu, and her introduction is deeply intertwined with the immediate peril of the plot, adding this profound personal dimension to the high-stakes chase.
She finds herself confronting her estranged relationship with her grandfather, Jacques Saunière, and is literally trapped with Langdon.
Who she initially suspects, right?
Yeah, initially she's suspicious, but she's also convinced he holds vital information while Captain Fash's relentless pursuit closes in around them. It's a pressure cooker situation for her.
Her backstory is absolutely critical to understanding her motivations. Sophie had this deeply strained relationship with Saunière, marked by a bitter falling out and a 10-year estrangement after a family tragedy.
Right, the car crash.
We learned that her grandfather had called her earlier that very day, his voice urgent, warning her of imminent danger and hinting at a profound family secret. But Sophie, still scarred by that devastating past family tragedy of the car crash that tragically took her parents and younger brother, she'd been skeptical, even dismissive.
And ultimately ignored his urgent plea, which must haunt her now.
Oh, absolutely. Now, facing his brutal murder and the chaos around her, a different, more chilling kind of dread washes over her, the realization that she might have ignored a crucial warning. The guilt must be immense.
The conundrum for Sophie is immediate and overwhelming. She's trapped with Langdon, a stranger accused of murder, facing imminent arrest and public disgrace. But she's also realizing, with this growing sense of urgency and dawning horror, that Langdon might be the only key to understanding her grandfather's death and the monumental secrets he held.
Her deeply personal quest for answers about her grandfather's mysterious life and tragic death suddenly converges explosively with the larger, ancient conspiracy that's now threatening them both. It all comes together for her.
Her immediate instinct, driven by self-preservation, is to flee. She insists on escaping to the U.S. Embassy, seeing it as their only safe haven, their only chance to get out of this alive.
But Langdon resists, doesn't he?
He does. With his own instincts as a symbologist, believing they need to delve deeper into the Louvre, into the very mystery that just unfolded, because the answers are likely right there.
So they have this fundamental disagreement.
Exactly. It immediately sets up this crucial tension between them, forcing them to make a high-stakes decision, escape immediate danger, or confront a deeper, more dangerous truth. All the while, Facia's relentless pursuit acts as this ticking clock.
Pushing them.
Yeah, heightening the immediate danger for both Langdon and Sophie, pushing them to make these impossible choices under incredible pressure.
This chapter is so important because it doesn't just introduce Sophie. She quickly becomes this critical co-protagonist, a formidable mind in her own right. She's not just a sidekick.
Not at all. She drives a lot of the plot.
It imbues the chase with deeply personal stakes. Through her family legacy and her desperate quest for redemption and understanding, turning her grandfather's death into a profound personal mission for her.
It transforms the mystery from a mere murder investigation into a desperate, high-stakes escape, driven by both self-preservation and the profound search for personal and historical truth. It adds that emotional core.
Definitely. So the tension continues to build relentlessly as Fauchet's frustration mounts to a boiling point. In Chapter 25, we witness Inspector Fauche discovering, with a seething fury,
You can almost see the steam coming out of his ears.
right, that Langdon's embassy call was a cleverly orchestrated trick, a misdirection that, in turn, shockingly reveals Sophie Neveu as Langdon's unexpected, and to Fauche, completely infuriating accomplice.
Facia's pursuit is truly relentless, almost a force of nature. He's absolutely fuming after being outsmarted, his meticulous plan to track Langdon now completely derailed. He calls the U.S. Embassy expecting answers.
And gets nothing.
But they calmly inform him their automated system changed 2 years ago. A crucial, outdated detail Langdon somehow exploited. When Fauche dials the number Langdon actually called from his hotel, his blood just boils as he realizes it wasn't the embassy at all.
It was Sophie's phone.
It was Sophie's cell phone. Boom.
This is the critical moment of realization for Fauche, what he perceives as a profound betrayal. He discovers, with a sickening lurch, that Sophie, an agent within his own organization, had tipped Langdon off about the tracking device that had been covertly planted on him.
That act of perceived insubordination and direct betrayal immediately transforms the entire game into something intensely personal for Fauche. This fuels his already formidable determination to catch them, not just for the law, but for his wounded pride and sense of order. It's personal now.
It really is.
This development profoundly reinforces Fauche's role as this formidable, relentless antagonist, a man driven by ego and a rigid sense of justice. And it dramatically ups the ante for Langdon and Sophie.
Because now they know Fauche is personally invested.
Exactly. Revealing they are not just random fugitives from a crime, but are actively involved in a deeper, far more complicated game of deception and hidden agendas. It makes their escape even more precarious, knowing a high-ranking, personally offended police chief is now hot on their trail.
Okay, then, in Chapter 26, we return to the hearts of the intellectual puzzle solving, with Langdon and Sophie inside the Louvre, still within its vast, labyrinthine confines.
Still trapped inside.
They are meticulously searching the Salle des Etats, the grand room housing Leonardo da Vinci's most famous masterpiece, leading to the thrilling discovery of another cryptic message, this one scrawled on the Mona Lisa's protective plexiglass.
And Sophie, with her practical investigative skills honed as a cryptologist, she really takes charge here, doesn't she?
She does.
She pulls out a blacklight pen, a tool her grandfather had always possessed, and begins meticulously sweeping the floor and various surfaces around the Mona Lisa, hunting for more clues from her grandfather. It's a very visual moment, imagining that beam of light cutting through the dimness.
Searching for something hidden.
Patiently searching. Langdon, meanwhile, is utterly captivated by the Mona Lisa itself. He experiences this profound intellectual thrill, convinced that the painting, one of Leonardo da Vinci's greatest masterpieces, holds deeper, hidden layers of meaning beyond its mere aesthetic beauty, just waiting to be unlocked.
And this is where that fascinating Amon and Isis anagram theory comes into play, isn't it? A core piece of da Vinci's secret, according to the book.
Right. Langdon theorizes that Mona Lisa isn't just a name, but a clever anagram for the ancient Egyptian gods Amon and Isis. Amon, the male principle, and Isis, the supreme female divinity, representing male and female divinity, a perfect balance.
This profound connection brings ancient symbolism explicitly into the art, suggesting that da Vinci himself was deliberately embedding these deeper esoteric meanings into his work, turning his paintings into coded messages.
It reframes da Vinci completely, and then the blacklight pen reveals it right there on the protective plexiglass. A cryptic message scrawled across the surface, invisible to the naked eye.
6 words.
The source notes that these are 6 crucial words, though the book doesn't reveal them yet at this exact point. Their very existence transforms one of the world's most famous artworks, a seemingly static masterpiece, into a direct, tangible, and living clue in their desperate, high-stakes search.
It's a brilliant narrative device.
Absolutely. It elevates the art itself into an active participant in the mystery.
So why does this particular moment matter so much in the grand scheme of the story? Well, this chapter is absolutely central to how the mystery seamlessly integrates with art history, particularly with Leonardo da Vinci's multifaceted genius and the compelling idea of hidden knowledge embedded within masterpieces.
It completely transforms famous art into a living, breathing clue, deepening the intellectual stakes for the reader and making you look at iconic works of art through a completely new conspiratorial lens. Suddenly, every painting might have a secret.
Exactly. And just when you think Langdon and Sophie might have a moment to breathe and decipher their new discovery, Chapter 27 brings us right back to Faiche. He is not letting up for a second.
No. Fueled by frustration and that growing sense of personal affront, he becomes even more certain that Langdon and Sophie are still hiding somewhere within the Louvre's vast confines, determined to flush them out.
Faiche's certainty is almost a character in itself. It's chilling in its intensity. His conviction that they are still inside emphasizes the closing walls of the museum and the immediate high stakes of this internal, high-pressure museum chase.
Every shadow, every corner, every alcove within the Louvre becomes a potential trap, highlighting the constant, immediate peril for our protagonists as Faiche's net tightens around them. The walls are literally closing in.
This chapter effectively maintains the relentless tension of the chase, narrowing its scope to the labyrinthine confines of the Louvre. It constantly reminds us of the immense, relentless pressure on Langdon and Sophie,
emphasizing the incredible resourcefulness, quick thinking, and daring they will need to evade capture within such a confined, yet somehow public space. It's a masterful setup for the next sequence of events. Where do they go from here?
Right. Now, let's pivot sharply from the immediate adrenaline-pumping chase within the Louvre to a crucial information dump that truly broadens the scope of this conspiracy, from a police procedural to an ancient, world-changing secret.
This is where it gets really deep into the history.
In Chapter 37, during a taxi ride through the dark, winding paths of Paris's Bois de Boulogne, Langdon begins to reveal to a bewildered Sophie the existence and astonishing history of the Priory of Zion and its long-guarded connection to the Holy Grail.
And the setting itself, the Bois de Boulogne, this sprawling Parisian park notorious for its nocturnal activities and secretive paths, it adds an immediate atmosphere of clandestine intrigue to this momentous revelation, doesn't it? Perfect place for secrets.
Later.
This is where the historical layers of the novel truly begin to unfold, providing the essential context for everything that follows. Langdon meticulously details that the Priory of Zion was founded way back in 1099.
By Godefroy de Bouillon, a French king.
Right, not just some obscure group. Its mission, he explains with grave seriousness, was to guard a family secret so explosive it could topple the church itself.
Whoa, that's a big claim.
Huge. That single statement immediately signals the profound stakes and the utterly controversial, almost blasphemous nature of the secret they are pursuing. It's not just a secret, it's a direct threat to established power.
And then Langdon explains the Priory's formidable military arm, the legendary Knights Templar.
Everyone's heard of the Templars.
Exactly. Their initial mission, he reveals, was incredibly specific and highly unusual. Not just to protect pilgrims, but to dig systematically through the ruins of Herod's temple in Jerusalem for 9 grueling years.
9 years of digging. What were they looking for?
Exactly. And what did they find after nearly a decade of clandestine excavation? They unearthed hidden documents, which they referred to as the Sangreal.
The Sangreal. These documents, described as being so incredibly powerful and revelatory that they transformed the once humble Knights Templar into this untouchable, immensely wealthy, and politically elite force by the 1300s.
Their power became so immense, so all-encompassing, that it even began to directly threaten the established authority of the Church.
Which, of course, led directly to Pope Clement's infamous response. Out of sheer fear and a desperate need to neutralize this growing threat, he branded them heretics, leading to their brutal, infamous persecution and the widespread massacres of Friday the 13th, 1307.
Right, the origin of Friday the 13th being unlucky.
According to this narrative, yes. But the Priory, being far more clandestine, adaptable, and far-sighted than its military arm, managed to survive this brutal purge.
Wow.
They had already smuggled these explosive documents to safety, escaping the Vatican's vengeful grasp and ensuring the secret lived on. And then comes the truly pivotal reveal, the core of the book's premise.
The Sangreal.
The Sangreal, Langdon explains to a stunned Sophie, is introduced as another far more ancient and far more truthful name for the Holy Grail.
Wow, so the Grail isn't a cup?
Not according to this. This is a crucial, paradigm-shifting piece of information, irrevocably setting the stage for the true nature of the Grail that the book will explore, challenging centuries of popular belief.
This is a truly crucial information dump, isn't it? It's where the true genius of the conspiracy unfolds. It introduces the core secret society, the Priory of Sion, details its deep historical roots, its intimate and powerful connection to the legendary Knights Templar.
And for the very first time, it unequivocally sets up the true, concealed nature of the Holy Grail. It transforms the plot from a relatively straightforward murder mystery into this vast, overarching historical and theological conspiracy, drawing you, the listener, into an intellectual game of monumental proportions.
Following that absolute bombshell in Chapter 38, Langdon elaborates further on the Sangreal's true nature, delivering a shocking, paradigm-shifting twist to Sophie, and by extension, to us. It's not an object at all.
Right. He emphasizes that the Grail is not what you think, shattering any preconceived notions of a shiny chalice, a golden cup from Arthurian legends, or any physical artifact for that matter.
So what is it?
He describes it with a hushed reverence, but also a profound sense of its magnitude as something far more earth-shattering, hinting at profound implications that could quite literally rewrite documented history and fundamentally challenge the very foundation of the church as we know it.
Forcing humanity to reconsider deeply ingrained truths.
Exactly. This revelation, deliberately vague but tantalizing, builds immense anticipation. Sophie's reaction is key here. Her mind races, struggling to comprehend the implications as the stakes climb exponentially, signifying your own growing intrigue and sense of wonder at this truly monumental revelation. What could be so earth-shattering?
This chapter masterfully deepens the mystery of the Grail, isn't it? It turns it from a simple artifact hunt into a quest for a profound, suppressed historical truth that carries immense power.
It builds significant anticipation for the ultimate revelation, ensuring that the listener is completely hooked, eager to find out what this something far more earth-shattering could possibly be. It's a fantastic narrative hook that promises to upend everything.
Okay, the narrative takes another thrilling, high-octane turn in Chapter 49, plunging us into an intense, action-packed sequence that truly escalates the immediate danger. We find Langdon and Sophie embroiled in this tense showdown.
With the bank manager, André Vernet.
Right, the unexpected antagonist, bank manager André Vernet, who attempts to recover a mysterious box just as news reports blare across the airwaves, falsely accusing Langdon and Sophie of murder.
Vernet's immediate demand, delivered with this desperate intensity, is for the mysterious box that Langdon has in his possession. He insists it's his solemn duty to protect Sagnère's assets, but his urgency goes far beyond mere banking protocol. He's clearly terrified.
Yeah, you can tell he's scared.
This palpable fear is quickly amplified by the news reports, which are now blaring across their car radio, falsely painting Langdon and Sophie as killers, responsible for the brutal deaths of 4 Sénéchaux, which the book implies are the guardians of a hidden truth.
Sénéchaux. So there were others guarding the secret.
Exactly. This damning detail immediately ratchets up their peril. They are no longer just suspects, but now, in the public eye, they are dangerous, murderous fugitives. The frame-up is getting serious.
Vernet, convinced by the relentless, sensationalist false news, genuinely believes that the box, whatever its contents, absolutely must not fall into police hands, even if it means confronting Langdon himself at gunpoint.
And he's serious about it, too. As Langdon attempts to escape in an armored bank truck, Vernet, in a moment of desperate recklessness, fires a shot into the back of their vehicle.
A warning shot.
A clear warning shot designed to prove his unwavering determination and to make them stop. He's not playing around.
Langdon, ever ingenious and quick thinking under extreme pressure, responds with remarkable resourcefulness, with no choice but to prevent Vernet from seizing the box and turning them over.
What does he do?
He cleverly wedges a spent bullet shell into the mechanism, jamming the armored truck doors. When Vernet tries to slam them shut, the doors seize up, refusing to close properly. In a flash of pure adrenaline, Langdon then rams the door outward with incredible force, catching Vernet completely off guard and sending him sprawling to the ground.
Yeah.
The gun drops from Vernet's hand.
And they grab the box.
Langdon grabs the mysterious box, and he and Sophie speed off in the truck, leaving a dazed Vernet in the dust. Just pure action movie stuff.
Wow. This chapter truly provides a high-octane, gripping action sequence, a rapid escalation of the immediate physical danger for our protagonists. It also powerfully reveals the full extent of the frame-up against Langdon and Sophie,
Transforming them from mere suspects into true fugitives from the law, with the public narrative against them firmly established.
And crucially, it introduces the concept of the seneschal, revealing that Saunier's secret was not only ancient, but was guarded by multiple dedicated individuals, adding another layer to the intricate, dangerous conspiracy. It just keeps getting deeper.
It really does. Okay, now, we arrive at what is arguably the central, most shocking, and ideologically profound twist of the entire book. The big one. A moment that directly challenges foundational Christian narratives and forces a radical reevaluation of history. In Chapter 58, at the lavish, almost theatrical study of Sir Leigh Teabing.
Enter Teabing.
The true, astonishing nature of the Holy Grail is finally revealed. It is not a chalice, but Mary Magdalene as Jesus' wife.
Boom. There it is. And we're introduced to Sir Leigh Teabing, who instantly captures our attention as this eccentric but incredibly insightful expert, a Grail scholar whose passion borders on obsession.
His study itself is described in rich detail, grand, shadowy, and filled with the weight of history, overflowing with ancient texts, religious artifacts, and countless works of art. It's a perfect, almost theatrical setting for such a monumental and controversial revelation.
A place where history and conspiracy literally hang in the air. The revelation unfolds dramatically in front of a massive illuminated reproduction of Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper on Teabing's wall.
Sophie, guided by Teabing, makes a shocking observation that immediately shatters conventional understanding. The figure seated immediately next to Jesus, long thought to be the male disciple John,
is unmistakably a woman, Mary Magdalene.
Teabing then drops his absolute bombshell. Mary Magdalene wasn't the repentant prostitute that centuries of church doctrine had painted her as. That, he vehemently argues, was a vicious smear campaign orchestrated by the early church to systematically erase her immense importance.
And why? Why such an aggressive cover-up? Because, Teabing proclaims, she was Jesus' wife, and crucially, the mother of his child. The bloodline.
The bloodline. The visual clues Teabing points out in The Last Supper are incredibly compelling, designed to make you see the familiar painting in a completely new light. He highlights their matching clothes.
And most strikingly, that distinct V-shape formed by the empty space between Jesus and Mary Magdalene. He explains this V-shape represents a chalice, symbolic female womb, a direct hint at Mary Magdalene's true identity as the vessel for Jesus' bloodline. It's right there in the painting, he argues.
Langdon, adding his own academic support, points out that Jewish tradition of the time would have certainly noted Jesus' bachelorhood if he were unmarried, and yet no such historical records exist. This silence, he argues, is itself a profound piece of evidence.
Teabing further supports his explosive claims by referencing the Gnostic Gospels, these ancient texts discovered in the 20th century that offer alternative narratives to the canonical Bible.
Right, like the Gospel of Thomas, Gospel of Philip.
He specifically mentions the Gospel of Philip, where Mary is explicitly called Jesus' companion, a word Teabing meticulously explains that meant spouse in Aramaic, the language Jesus spoke.
It's not just about a marital status either, is it?
Not at all. Teabing argues that Jesus, breaking with patriarchal norms, entrusted his early church and his spiritual legacy primarily to Mary Magdalene. He explains that other apostles, particularly Peter, were intensely jealous.
Not just of her spiritual closeness to Jesus,
but also of her royal bloodline from the powerful tribe of Benjamin, a lineage that would have given her immense authority in her own right. She wasn't just anyone.
This is truly the ideological core of the entire book, isn't it? The revelation that drives the conspiracy and its historical ramifications. It directly challenges foundational Christian narratives, presenting this radical reinterpretation of historical events and key religious figures.
It provides the profound why behind the systematic suppression of the Grail secret, linking it directly to deeply entrenched gender biases, immense power dynamics within institutions, and the deliberate rewriting of history by those in control. It's a profound aha moment that forces you to reconsider everything you thought you knew about centuries of established belief. It's designed to shake things up.
Massively. So our protagonists are now truly on the run, and the chase continues to escalate dramatically, broadening its scope beyond the streets of Paris. In Chapter 70, Foch's determined team tracks Langdon, Sophie, and Teabing to Chateau Villette.
Sir Leigh's fancy estate.
Right. Here, we witness a surprising turn of events as Andre Vernet, the distraught bank manager from earlier, makes a desperate deal with the police to protect his bank from further scrutiny.
Fachet's frustration at this point is absolutely palpable. It's a tangible anger. His fury escalates after losing the suspects not once, but twice, now realizing they've been to Tebing Chateau, just when it seems the trail has gone cold.
Vernet shows up again.
Vernet, the bank manager, unexpectedly changes his story. He confesses to the police that Langdon and Sophie did indeed steal from Saunier's safety deposit box, but he only agrees to help the police with information if his bank is protected from any further investigation or scandal.
Wow, covering his own back.
Totally. This highlights the deep complicity and profound self-interest of those caught up in this sprawling conspiracy, even those who initially appeared to be antagonists. Everyone's looking out for number one.
The police quickly receive a crucial lead. A contact number for Le Bourget Airfield, a private airport near Paris.
Which immediately leads to the startling realization that Tebing, Langdon, and Sophie have managed to escape in Tebing's private jet, adding a thrilling new dimension to the chase. It's now an aerial pursuit.
Up and away.
Heightening the urgency and broadening the geographical scope of their desperate flight across Europe, the stakes continue to rise. Where are they headed?
This chapter effectively keeps the chase alive and incredibly dynamic, showing the extraordinary lengths Fash will go to in his relentless pursuit, and confirming that our characters are well and truly on the run, with law enforcement hot on their heels across international borders.
It transitions the immediate danger from the confined spaces of Paris to the open skies, expanding the canvas of their desperate flight and leaving us wondering where they could possibly go next. London, perhaps.
Perhaps. High above the clouds, aboard Tebing's luxurious private jet, Chapter 71 brings us another vital breakthrough, a moment of pure intellectual satisfaction. Sophie, displaying her sharp mind and unique connection to her grandfather.
She cracks something, doesn't she?
She brilliantly deciphers the backwards inscription she discovered on the mysterious box's rose inlay.
Ugh. The box from Burnett. Langdon and Tebing initially struggle with what appears to be a strange script, utterly unable to decipher it, despite their combined expertise. It seems unreadable, a true enigma.
But Sophie, with her intimate knowledge of her grandfather's quirks, his love for puzzles, and his particular methods of encrypting messages, recognizes it immediately. It's written backwards.
A clever trick he frequently employed with her as a child. It's a testament to their unique bond and the training she received. That personal connection pays off.
Her insight is absolutely key here, a moment of triumph for her. She instinctively knows what to do. She holds the lid up to the jet's light, effectively mirroring the inscription, revealing the words in their correct orientation, making them suddenly brilliantly clear.
It's a classic aha moment for Sophie, showcasing not only her unique connection to her grandfather and his clever personal methods, but also providing the next crucial clue in the complex, high-stakes puzzle they are trying to solve. So what does it say?
And that all-important clue, revealed in Chapter 72, is an ancient poem, carefully copied down by Sophie. It's a riddle packed with specific hints, directing them to their next destination and the next piece of the puzzle.
Subtly weaving in Templar connections and ancient codes. Okay, lay it on us.
The poem itself reads, "An ancient word of wisdom frees this scroll, and helps us keep her scattered family whole. A headstone praised by Templars is the key, and Atbash will reveal the truth to thee."
Ooh, okay. Langdon immediately recognizes its poetic form iambic pentameter, a rhythmic pattern with deep historical ties to pagan traditions and ancient mysteries. And the language, English.
Right, not French.
Was strategically preferred by secret societies like the Priory, as it could bypass the French authorities more easily, making it clear this message was meant for a specific, knowledgeable recipient.
This poem is absolutely packed with specific hints and directives. It directly mentions the Knights Templar.
A headstone praised by Templars.
Which immediately brings us back to that historical thread of the conspiracy, and it explicitly introduces a specific, ancient cipher. The Atbash cipher.
And Atbash will reveal the truth to thee.
Which is a substitution cipher historically used in Hebrew texts, where the first letter of the alphabet is substituted for the last, the second for the second to last, and so on.
Okay, so now they have another code to break. This provides the next direct intellectual puzzle for both the characters and, by extension, for us as listeners, raising the stakes of the intellectual puzzle they must solve even higher. It's a literary treasure hunt brought to life.
Absolutely. Our journey now takes a significant turn, leading us onto sacred ground in Chapter 83 as Langdon, Sophie, and Tebing arrive in London and gain entry to the highly guarded Temple Church.
Temple Church. a place steeped in profound history and with deep, undeniable ties to the legendary Knights Templar. Makes sense, given the poem.
Exactly. The temple church itself is described with almost reverence, a circular stone marvel, a unique architectural gem that, as Langdon observes, echoes pagan ideals of simplicity and wholeness, standing in stark contrast to the more traditional cruciform churches.
It's a striking visual that immediately immerses you in the immense historical and symbolic weight of the location, reminding us of the Templars' controversial, often mystical beliefs. But how do they get in? It's locked up tight, right?
It is, and this is where Teabing, ever the charming manipulator and master of deception, employs a rather clever lie to bypass security.
Oh, here we go.
He knocks persistently until a bewildered young altar boy appears. Teabing then spins this convincing, albeit completely fabricated, tale about escorting Mr. and Mrs. Christopher Wren IV to scatter ashes, claiming a special prearranged tour.
Christopher Wren IV. Seriously.
Apparently, the frightened boy, fearing trouble or reprimand, reluctantly lets them in. It's a testament to Teabing's smooth, authoritative demeanor. He can really talk his way into anything.
Once inside, the atmosphere immediately shifts, heavy with history. Teabing leads them, pointing out 10 ancient stone crypts, each holding the skeletal remains of a Knight Templar.
Wow, actual Templar tombs.
This direct visual evidence powerfully underscores the immediate, tangible connection to the priory's history and the Templar lineage, profoundly reinforcing the authenticity and chilling depth of the conspiracy they are painstakingly unraveling. This physical, tangible link makes the historical mystery feel incredibly real, pressing upon them.
Just when you think the alliances are clear and our protagonists have a trusted, albeit eccentric, ally in Teabing, Chapter 84 delivers a shocking, gut-wrenching twist that completely redefines the landscape of danger.
Oh no, what now?
Remy, Teabing's seemingly loyal driver, frees Silas, and the chilling truth is revealed. Both men serve the same mysterious, unseen figure known only as the Teacher.
Remy, the driver, no way.
Yes. The setting for this betrayal is crucial. A deserted, shadowy alley near the church, emphasizing the clandestine and utterly treacherous nature of this meeting. Remy, who has been quietly chauffeuring and assisting them, is seen freeing Silas, who is bound and tense.
And apologizes for the delay like it's no big deal.
In a surprisingly casual manner, yes. The truth hits hard and fast. Both men have been working in concert, serving the same mysterious figure, the Teacher. Remy's role all along has been as a calculated plant in Teabing's inner circle.
A mole.
A mole designed specifically to access Teabing's invaluable Grail research from the inside, to gain access to their every move.
Unbelievable, and the danger escalates instantly, becoming brutally visceral. Both men are now armed with pistols. Silas is returned to him, and Remy calmly pulling one from the glove box.
Making it terrifyingly clear that they are fully ready to make their move, to take whatever drastic action is necessary. This isn't just a betrayal, it's a direct, immediate threat to Langdon and Sophie. They're totally exposed.
This is a major, impactful plot twist that immediately heightens the sense of danger and suspicion for you, the listener. It devastatingly reveals a betrayal from within the protagonist's immediate circle, forcing you to question who can truly be trusted in this convoluted and deadly web of conspiracy.
Suddenly, Teabing looks suspicious too, doesn't he?
It adds another profound layer of complexity to an already intricate and perilous situation, making their continued survival feel even more precarious. Who is the Teacher?
Exactly. Okay, we've finally arrived at the heart-stopping, climactic confrontation. In Chapter 97, Langdon and Sophie enter the hallowed halls of Westminster Abbey to find Sir Isaac Newton's tomb.
Following the poem's clue, presumably.
Right, completely unaware to their growing peril, that the mysterious Teacher is already there, patiently waiting, planning to use Langdon himself as the unwitting key to unlocking the ultimate secret.
Westminster Abbey. What a setting for a climax. It's described with this incredible, almost suffocating ambiance, an echoing vastness steeped in centuries of history, with towering columns casting long shadows that seem to swallow them whole.
And it's almost deserted in the off-season, which profoundly amplifies the sense of isolation and creeping dread. The Abbey's labyrinthine nature, with its countless alcoves, ancient burial chambers, and hidden niches, makes it a perfect theatrical setting for a high-stakes, deadly game of cat and mouse.
Where every turn could be a trap, the Teacher's presence is immediately menacing, a chilling premonition. He's already patiently waiting at Newton's tomb, holding the enigmatic cryptex.
The device from the box.
And a revolver, struggling with the final password that he cannot decipher. We also learn a crucial detail about his power and connections. He effortlessly slipped past the Abbey's metal detectors due to his official status,
The official status. Who is this guy?
hinting at his deep ties and influence within the establishment, suggesting he is far more than just a shadowy figure. He's got pull.
Then he sees them. Langdon and Sophie closing in, unwittingly walking into his trap. A flash of panic briefly crosses his face, quickly suppressed, and he deftly melts into the darkness, plotting his next desperate move.
His decision is cold and calculating. He will use Langdon to trick him into solving the puzzle for him, exploiting Langdon's unique brilliance to get what he wants. This sets up the ultimate intellectual and physical trap for our protagonists in this profoundly historic and symbolically resonant location. It's game time.
In Chapter 98, Langdon and Sophie finally reach Newton's tomb. The tomb itself is a monumental marvel, dominated by a massive orb engraved with constellations, stars, and planets, a direct, awe-inspiring nod to Newton's unparalleled genius and his revolutionary work in reshaping our very understanding of the universe.
It's a brilliant juxtaposition of science and the ancient mysteries they pursue. Perfect location for the final clue.
Langdon's intuition, that finely tuned symbologist's instinct, immediately kicks in. Despite the tomb's overt astronomical appearance, he feels deeply that the true clue isn't literally astronomical, but deeply symbolic, layered with meaning, a secret hidden in plain sight by a fellow genius.
They're deep in thought, trying to piece it together, when Sophie spots something chilling, something out of place. A note left right there on the tomb, clearly intended for them.
What does it say?
The words on the note hit them like a thunderclap, a mix of dread and faint hope. I have teabing. Go through Chapter House, out south exit to Public Garden, 433.
He has teabing. Langdon's heart skips a beat. Teabing, their eccentric but invaluable ally, is alive, but now clearly in grave danger. The crucial detail: the captor still doesn't have the cryptex password.
Which means there's still a chance to save Teabing and protect the truth. Hope is not lost yet.
This note serves as both a breadcrumb, providing them with a clear, immediate path forward, and a cunning trap, pulling them deeper into the teacher's elaborate web.
This chapter provides the final, immediate objective for the characters, cementing the intense personal stakes of saving their friend Teabing, intertwined with the immense intellectual puzzle of cracking the cryptex password. It cleverly uses a scientific monument as a brilliant narrative device, perfectly intertwining history, science, and a desperate race against time to a thrilling crescendo. Where does it lead? You'll have to read the book, or wait for our next deep dive.
What an exhilarating, mind-bending journey we've taken together, haven't we, just through these chapters. From Saunier's blood-soaked message on the cold marble floor of the Louvre to the high-stakes, climactic chase within the echoing vastness of Westminster Abbey.
We've navigated ancient conspiracies, deciphered hidden meanings in world-renowned art, and plunged headfirst into controversial religious history that challenges centuries of dogma. It's been quite a ride.
This deep dive has truly offered, I hope, a profound shortcut to understanding the complex, interwoven layers of the Da Vinci Code, highlighting the incredible intellectual thrill of connecting seemingly disparate historical facts, deciphering ancient symbols, and unraveling an unfolding mystery that could reshape our understanding of foundational narratives.
It truly reminds us that sometimes the most profound and unsettling truths are hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right key to unlock them, if you just look closely enough.
The Da Vinci Code invites us powerfully to question established narratives, doesn't it? To look beyond the obvious surface and to consider the myriad stories that might still be hidden within plain sight, even in our most cherished institutions and historical accounts.
It challenges us to ask what other truths might still be buried, waiting for the right key to unlock them, and how might they change our perception of the world? It's a provocative question.
Definitely. We encourage you to continue your own deep dives, whether by picking up the full book for the first time or perhaps rereading it with this new perspective.
Or, even better, research the fascinating historical figures and controversial concepts we've discussed today, or simply reevaluate accepted truths around you. The world, as this book so clearly illustrates, is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered.
If only we learn how to look with a critical and open mind.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for joining us on Book Podcast Zone for this thrilling deep dive.
Yeah, thanks everyone. This was fun.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and always keep an open mind.